This world was once an empty void, waiting for your experiment. 70 years ago I was created, though not the first. You were his favorite, and I, a product of your imagination. How ironic that Ivan, gatekeeper to the Underfrogs, was really their demise. Oh dear blue one, my opportunity will come.
Welcome back everybody to the next episode of IvyCraft OneBlock. I am of course your host Ivyman1992 and we are in for a fun episode. I am planning to build the largest build that I have ever built in one of my series. Like no joke, this thing is terrifying. At least for me, it took several hours of resource collecting and planning out, but I think it's going to be worth it. It's going to be something that's really going to contribute to the series and make it possible to produce more big projects such as what we're about to do. Okay, so in the last episode we built Hoglan's Railway all the way up here, which is actually fantastic. It's come in very handy, but this is the subject of today's episode. So we are actually going to be working on a nice storage system. I went ahead and I moved all of my resources down here already, and most of it is kind of organized into the chest by different patterns. And of course most of it is fairly organized, so I have like all snow related items into this one, all ice related items, sand related items, nature, all that good stuff, and I think it's pretty detailed. But as you can see, it's a fairly bit of a big project, and I have some pillar placements already set out for the birch strip wood. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at maybe what we're going to be doing today. But first, please know that I appreciate each and every one of you. Yenity, Lucy Commerce, Soup King, Troy Quackenbush, I am Georgie, Sigmaskabid, Regular FMM, Names Are My Game. Truly thank you so much for all of your love and support. Now let's hop into that creative world. So we are in a creative flat world. I call this my builder world. This is where most of my projects are going to be for the OneBlock series, as well as some sneaky stuff that I'm working on there in the background, which is really cool, by the way. We'll have to get into it once I get the system all worked out, but that's a procedurally generated dungeon back there, so yeah, pretty cool. So sometimes when you're working on a build, you may think to yourself, well, what kind of ideas come to mind when it comes to creating something in a Let's Play, or even in your own world at home? And maybe it's a little bit more challenging than what you expect. For me, as a base survival player, I actually like building my builds inside of survival. I don't like doing things twice. Yeah, so Creative Worlds is not something that I have used very much in the past, but I like to take inspiration from it, and I want to become a better builder. So I figured I'd share with you a little bit about the thought process when it comes to making things. So this build right here actually looks somewhat familiar. If it does, it's because it was originally supposed to be my base storehouse, right? So the house with the chair that I showed you with the barrels in the back, this is actually what it was supposed to look like when I first started the world. I would have placed the storage all in the top parts here, and then just kind of had fun with a unique take on it, right? So I ended up not going for this type of build, but instead I just kind of took the basics from it. So I used a lot of trapdoors, I used the strip wood for the floors, maybe some pats all the way around. So the kind of idea and the inspiration for my build currently came from this. But I realized that I couldn't really replicate this at the time very well in survival, so I just kind of went off of what I thought looked cool. But yeah, that was a fun fact. Which brings us to this right here. So I had actually shared a screenshot with you guys in community post saying that this is what was the inspiration for my new storage building, right? And there's quite a bit to it. You can see that a lot of it is the smooth stone slabs on the top. I got quite a bit of birch wood, iron gates, chains, but I promised over 2,000 blocks. This is not 2,000 blocks, guys. But it gives us a good landing point. So where we were just at, we got to see barrels lined all the way down into unique shapes. Had the slabs underneath them and the item blocks, but this is the kind of interpretation when I think of a cemetery storehouse. This is the kind of the feel that I get for it. And what makes this really challenging is that I didn't know what I wanted to build at first. And I was just kind of playing around with some ideas. I knew that I wanted to kind of go with a Gothic structure. So that's why we had the iron bars on the top and the cobblestone and the lanterns. I wanted to make it tall. So we have, I think they're like 7 block tall pillars. Chains, make it more like a cemetery-like thing. Lanterns. And then of course we have the buttresses on the sides, so the little stairs that are popping out here. It makes it look more like a little mini buttress, of course, but that's a funny word to say. But that's the thought, is like sometimes you don't know what you want to build, and this was a really difficult project because this is actually 14 blocks wide. Inside my Let's Play world, it was not 14 blocks to begin with, it was only 10. So yeah, I had to do a lot of renovating and switch things up. So here is the lesson for you guys today. Whether it's inspiration from previous builds, or whether it's something that we really want to base our build on, one thing I've learned is that you don't have to be tied to your idea. You can still have fun in your survival world, you don't have to build the whole thing, right? So that over there was going to be the whole build for my storehouse, and I only used parts of it. This over here is a mini version of my new storehouse, but I'm pretty much going to be replicating it and multiplying it. So not much is going to change from here, other than dramatically increasing the size, right? So don't be so tied down to like having to make it look perfect, when you could just kind of take the key ideas of it and expand on it. I think that's very important to do when it comes to deciding kind of like the feeling of your world and what you really want out of it, right? So you got to live in it. It's your world. You got to be happy with it, right? Oh yeah, command blocks. But at any rate, so what do you say we hop back into the OneBlock world and we'll get started. So in the first two chests here, I have all my resources collected. Of course, we have a bunch of the stripped birch that you saw in the creative world, and the stone block stairs, as well as the birch stairs. So what we're going to try to do is pull together as much of the walls as possible, and then we can build up from there. I gotta go sleep. Hang on just a minute. Oh, that's scary. I thought the iron golem was actually picking up the llama. Like, oh, that'd be cool if like he can put the llama underneath his armpits and just walk around with it. It's like, hey, you ain't welcome here anymore. I'm gonna take your llama. He just looked at me like, oh, that was a confusing idea. Alright, well, let's get some sleep. And of course, like, for me, when it comes to storehouse stuff, I don't like organization in a way. I think, for me, organization almost takes the fun out of it. But it gets to a point where you have so many resources, you just can't really do without an organization area, you know? And a storehouse like I had up top on that island above me, it was just too small. It was never going to be anything that was like super sized. I better crouch. I'm going to fall off this thing. Okay, so we got our birch stairs in, which is good. So the next step that I wanted to do originally was to take the stone brick stairs. Oops. Why did it place on the back side? That was weird. Huh. And basically, in short, they just kind of run all the way across. And we're going to go ahead and repeat the same pattern, come all the way back around. Alright, so as you can see, we have the next border all set in. We use the stone brick stairs. The iron golem is doing a dance. I have a cat exploring, so everybody seems to be pretty excited about it. I don't know why he's walking so quick now. Like, what is it? Is he on a mission or something? Look at him go! He just seems to be exploring that thing. He's like, yeah, this is great, man. I don't know, he's interesting for sure. But anyway, so it's coming together. So I think for the next step here, we're actually just going to keep building up one by one row. And the next one, we'll fill in a couple of the pillars, we'll put our walls in, and it'll start to look more uniform and nice. Alright, so I have the next layer in. I think what I'm going to do at this point, I should probably just make the full size for the pillars. That way when I'm on the ground floor, I can go ahead and just get everything without falling off. Because I have fallen off a lot, right buddy? Look at that. He makes it look easy. Oh, you're going to prove me wrong, huh? You know what? Ha, you fell off. Alright, here, can you do it again? Nope. Now he's just showing off. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just put the 3 on each one of these so that they'll be 5 tall. And hopefully we can get some good progress going on with the iron bars next. Alright, so in your professional opinion, which side looks better? The left side or the right side? Give you a moment. Anytime. And for me, it's the right side. Now, which one of these sides was in my creative world? Left side or right side? In my creative world, it was the left side, right? So here's the thing is when I built this, I kind of built to where my eye lend itself to. And right now, this looked pretty good. And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of like my creative build, right? But in reality, this is my creative build, and I don't like it as much. So herein lies the lesson, right? So inspiration versus actually building block by block. So this is part of the reason why I don't build block by block, because in my main world, I may not like it. Right? For me, it's just more fun to build something off of inspiration, and even though you get close to being what it looks like, it doesn't have to be like that, because look how tall I am. So look how tall I am compared to this wall, right? So this wall is actually another block higher than me. If that were to be the case in real life, that would be like 6 foot, you know? I'm not 6 foot, by the way, but anyway, that's a good example. So standing right here, you could see that it's kind of level with the top of my head, which is good. So I can just barely peek over to the iron bars. From a distance, it allows me to see more inside of the build versus this ever would. So this is more like a jail. And this to me would be more of like what a cemetery would kind of look like, right? So that being said, where I thought it was a mistake, I accidentally built 1 block lower. It was just a happy accident. Did you get it? Bob Ross. If you don't know who Bob Ross is, definitely look up Bob Ross. He's kind of like what B-dubs is for Minecraft, right? But anyway, so I'm glad this worked out. But yeah, that's a lesson. Just don't be so tied to your creative builds if you decide to build in creative. Have fun, work with it, and just go with what feels right inside your world. Alright, and on to the next step. So we're going to be working on the roof here. And as you can see, I've already placed down some sewn slabs, the smooth ones. And this is going to be the border to our roof. We also have our little spikes to make it more of a Gothic look. I used the wall, iron bar, and then a torch. Although if there was something smaller than a torch, that'd be kind of cool. But either way, I like it so far, and it is a little bit different than our creative build, right? For me, this actually looks pretty cool already. So I'm thinking for the roof, we're just going to kind of do our normal thing. And our normal thing that I usually do for all of our roofs is just a simple slope. So if you build with slabs, it doesn't create quite of a high incline, which is nice. It almost kind of gives it a rounded look, or like a small dome look, as best as that can be achieved here. Remember, we got a limited palette that we're working with, and the idea is that we carry a simple line all the way around the border, and then when we get to our next angle here, we actually create 1 line up, and we follow it around until we can meet into the center. Usually there'll be like a 1x1 or a 2x2 flat gap. That way we can just fill in. So yeah, what do you say we get started on that right now? Alright, so I'm bringing you back because the majority of the roof is done. We put up several of the paneling layers here, but we have an important decision that we need to make. So we can see on this portion of our building, because it's thinner on this side than it is on the main part, the roof actually peaks a little bit quicker. So what we could do is we could cap this roof off right here and then build up another layer or 2 in the center, or we can all make it uniform if I wanted the roof to all kind of be at the same level. Alright, and that tile finishes off the roof. So we have this kind of nice flat dome shape. Iron golem burning in the distance. It's beautiful. Oh, he didn't make it. But I really like how this turned out here. If we still want to play with the idea of adding another layer in, I mean, we could. We could just technically top this layer off. You know what, actually? I have enough slabs. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and top the top layer off here, because we can still hang stuff from the bottom now, and it would still look peaked at the top. Alright, so we're getting an aerial view here. We can actually see that our roof is all finished. Don't mind the dirt pillar, it'll go away. But I am digging this. This looks pretty cool. Oh, you know what? Going with the smooth stone slabs, I think that made it all worth it. But you can see that it's pretty similar and modular, right? So if I wanted to, I can actually expand this in any direction. But this is cool. Oh, man. I wonder what it looks like from, like, high above, you know? Oh, well, the iron bars fade out, but, I mean, when you get close, that looks pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. But just kind of taking a look on the inside, I mean, this looks pretty cool. I get, like, a cemetery type feel from it, but it's also more like a, almost like an industrial type build too, you know? But this worked out a lot better than what I thought it would. Yeah, this is great. So as far as details go, stone buttons I think look really good when it comes to adding just a little bit of texture on blank walls. And they come in all different colors and stuff, so you can go as you will, but like for me, this looks nice. And then in our creative world, we actually had our levers, just like so. And then you can put one lever going up, one lever going up that way. And if you combine them, just like so, you get the chains in between. I think that looks pretty cool, actually. I like it. Now, in the creative world, this was a little bit bigger, so this is a smaller representation of it. But I think it still gets the point across. For as far as the outside goes, we're just going to go ahead and continue to place buttons all the way around. And on the inside, other than, you know, our slabs, we're going to hang some chandeliers. Alright, so now the construction is all complete. So as you can see, I did make it more tombstone-like. I topped them with smooth slabs, added some stairs. Very expensive, but instead of just filling it up with slabs, I actually went around the whole side with spruce logs and birch logs. So yep, it's complete. It's nice. My lantern designs, I just used a couple of stairs, and then I put some iron bars, chains, lanterns, at least for these two anyway. And then on this side, a little mausoleum catacomb type thing. We have a 5 little lantern hanging there. So yeah, I really like this one. I think it's pretty. It wouldn't look good in our main section though, because that's just mainly for single lines. This is double lines. So yeah, there it is. And if you've stuck around to the end of this video, please know that I appreciate you so very much. Everything that you've done, you didn't have to watch all the way to the end, but you did. And if you did, please consider liking. If you're not subscribed and you want to see more of this content, please do as well. But really, thank you just for being you. Wherever you are, have a great night, great day, and I will see you in the next episode of IvyCraft OneBlock.